Don't run over the winos. Don't run over the crack dealer over there. Just go ahead and buy the crack from him.
Don't run over the Cheezos either.
Yeah. But I mean, she didn't say, I'm patronizing you, and, or anything like that.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Quite humble and quite, not looking for me to grovel and throw a parade for her or anything like that. She was just like...
Well, I often said, too, that in Kansas City there's this thing going on. People will have these art galleries, these art openings, and they'll have only paintings or drawings or sculptures, and the price will be $1,800 or more.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
And I'm like, well, that doesn't include most people. That only includes the very wealthy people, because especially in this recession, people can't afford that. And then I saw one artist who was really smart, had a whole range of things. Yeah, they had the things that were over $1,000, but they also had prints that you buy for $25.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, that's how you could, as a common person, patronize the art. If you see something you're like, sure, it's not going to be a painting that's ever going to be worth anything, but you can give the artist some money for something in return and have a little piece of that.
Oh,
it's better than going to the Starving Artist sale and getting a factory thing for, sofa-sized oil paintings for $19.95.
Yeah, it's well, I mean, and that's always been a legitimate thing. You can buy the real thing for $1 billion, or
this is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Signed and numbered lithograph or silkscreen, or in my case it would be photocopy.
Yeah, produced in large enough quantities that you could actually, if you appreciate their work and you want to help them and support them, you can actually buy it.
Well, you got to make it limited, though. There's only 100 of these. That's all. There are 100, and that's all it is.
Well, I don't know what the market on prints would actually really is. Yeah, I guess it depends on the artist. I mean, at one time,
this is a demonstration of
Wirecast. Some numbered Salvador Dali prints, but I don't even think that was worth anything in the end. I think people try to sell you on that idea that it's going to be worth something, but
I think I read something somewhere that Dali had signed and numbered a bunch of blank canvases.
Yeah.
And that at some point he had other people reproducing his paintings for him.
Well, back in the 80s, in '85...
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Flunked out of college the first time. And went to... I was looking for work to try and get back into college, and it was about Christmas time, 1985, and this was the height of the Reagan era. His second term had just started, and there was a bunch of real assholes driving around, unfriendly people, hated everything and everyone, real good Christian folk. And so I was down and out, and
this is a demonstration
went to apply
of Wirecast.
for an ad that I saw in the Kansas City Star, and it said, earn $300 to $1,000 a week selling art. All right. So I went to this place in Westport where the Starbucks used to be, and went in there, and they had a whole bunch of people. And a lot of these people that appeared to the place because of the ad were, some of them were white trash, some of them were uneducated black people,
and there
were some college students like me who applied, and they were like...
is this like a pyramid, multi-level marketing?
I think, essentially they said, this is what we do. We sell art prints. We go door to door and we sell art prints. We go to these apartments and we throw a big party and we sell a lot of art. And what we want you to do is, if you want to get in on this, you have to buy a portfolio. And, people were poor, no money. And they had all sorts of schemes. Well, you could borrow the money from us and we'll pay us back and this and that and the other thing. And then they would fill a few lies. Oh, we had one lady the other day just earned over $1,000 selling art. And I'm like, yeah. Mm-hmm. So after about a day of it, I saw through it, especially when they tried to use me to drive them around, and the guy that drove me, that their salesman who rode with me in my car was bitching that my car was such a piece of junk.
Wirecast.
And I'm like, what do you expect? I'm poor. Well, I need a job. And then it wasn't long after that that company was in the Kansas City Star. They were in Kansas City and Denver, and they were being investigated for their practices.
It seems like I've heard of similar things. And
I remember they had a Salvador Dali signed print.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Yeah, it was basically art you would find in an office. Not worth anything. Probably buy it for $2. You know, they wanted to sell these prints for $300.
Seemed like there was a similar scam, only it was with magazines.
Yeah.
They'd get people to buy in. Like, oh yeah, you have to personally subscribe to these whatever magazines, and then you got to go out and resell those subscriptions or some crap like that. And they would pile a bunch of you in a car, make you drive out to some bumfuck town, and stay in a motel that you had to pay for yourself, and then go out on the street and be forced to,
Yeah, I've been there, done that.
Yeah, I got suckered into a cell phone long distance.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Multi-level marketing scheme, and I knew better every step of the way. Just, it was dumb, what it is, blah blah blah. Then the guy that sold me on it was a pretty good salesman. Mm-hmm. Not high pressure, not low pressure, but medium pressure. And they keep showing you this math. Look, you only have to get 10 people under you in your downline, and you are going to, here's the math, you're going to be making $150,000 a month.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
And it's like, oh wow, 10 people, I can get 10 people to, and if they each get 10 people, well then you're making $1 million a month. And I eventually fell for it and tossed in my $400, and then found out that this company was absolutely worthless as far as actually providing the long distance. There's a thing going on then, slamming.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
It was called, where a company would basically force a long distance service on you and slam out, if you were with AT&T, they'd, kind of almost without your knowing it, and a thing like that. But it was like I sold my parents on it. They're like, oh, okay, well,
this is a
like,
demonstration
look, this is
of Wirecast.
$20 a month instead of the $22.50 you're paying, and it's like, even if it cost more, my parents probably would have been, oh, okay,
Mm-hmm.
So they signed away, set up the deal, and then I made the call, and they're like, okay, switch us over, we're, and they could never do it. And I'm kind of like, call back, oh, what's the deal? And they're like, oh, it's because Southwestern Bell is really resistant to this. The Southwestern Bell is in violation of the FCC.
This is a demonstration
blah, blah, blah.
of Wirecast.
And I eventually found out that they just weren't capable of really, providing the service. And that they didn't really know what they were doing as far as that's concerned. And I'm like, well, look, this is fucked up. I sold my parents on this thing, and you can't even get it switched over. And in the meantime, Southwestern Bell disconnected their long-distance service altogether. So they only have local service, but you can't, blah, blah. I forget exactly what the
is a demonstration of Wirecast.
issues were as far, but basically, and my parents were like, well, it's been 3 days, and, and this company, Excel was their name, they said, oh, we can do it in a matter of hours, and once you make that sell, you just call us up and, you know. And so I went to their next training meeting, and I started bringing this up, and they're like, oh, don't worry about it. We're just having a temporary, you know, little glitch in the system. Don't worry, it's all
This
going
is
to,
a
you know,
demonstration
but
of
besides, you're not
Wirecast.
really, you know, you look at the math, do the math, look at the pyramid, look at the, you know, it's not the product you're selling. It's, you know, if you want to make money with this company, it's all about developing your downline, you know, suckering in all these other people. That's where the real money is. And according to their math, yeah, they're right, but, you know, just like,
Was it fuzzy math?
no, the math is, you know, you sign up 10 people below you, they each pay in their $400, well, you get half of that, plus the residuals
This
of,
is a demonstration of Wirecast.
you know, they sell this service and they get this percentage of whatever, the $20 a month, and then you get that percentage of it, and you multiply that by 10, and blah, 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 you know. Anyway,